The TWC has advice for your business about employment compensation agreements and new hire paperwork. My name is Nina, and I'm about to get in your business. If you would like to know more about the topics listed below, click that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. I upload new videos on Thursdays. On the Texas Workforce Commission website, there is all kinds of useful information. In my new series, Reading the TWC website, I troll the website of the Texas Workforce Commission, grab interesting information, and read it to you. Here's useful information from the TWC's website about employment compensation agreements and new hire paperwork. Even though this information is found on the Texas Workforce Commission's website, it's good information for any business, no matter where your company resides. Listen to this video while you're working on the computer or doing other things. Any written job offer should point out that employment is at will. A good job offer letter should note that hiring is contingent upon the new hire completing all of the new hire paperwork. An oral job offer should be matter of fact and to the point. Skip the usual feel-good comments that sometimes get a company into trouble, such as, "Don't worry, if you work hard and follow all the rules, you'll always have a job with us." Even though the Texas Supreme Court has ruled that such comments do not by themselves destroy the presumption that employment is at will, it is possible to do just that with the wrong mix of circumstances. In an employment at will situation, the employer should express the compensation in terms of a weekly or bi-weekly pay period. Annual salary offers have been held in certain cases to constitute a promise of at least 1 year of employment. The more unusual a pay method is, the more important it is to put it into writing. Also, the pay agreement should be as clear as possible, since any claims under the Texas payday law will be based on whatever the pay agreement says or seems to say. The best time to obtain employees' agreement to something or to get them to sign required government documents is before they are hired or at the very start of employment. A good way to handle this is to have an appropriate staff member, such as an office manager or human resources department employee, meet with the new employee before any work begins and have the new hire fill out the various forms. The following is a list of the required and optional documents that companies most commonly include in their new hire packet. I-9 form. This is needed for all new hires in order to document that they are authorized to work in the United States. IRS Form W-4. This form is for obtaining basic payroll tax information from an employee and enables the company to know how many exemptions to use when computing withholding tax for IRS purposes. DOL notice regarding health insurance marketplace. What's that you say? You've never heard of this or seen this form before? Please let me know in the comments section if you use this form as part of your new hire packet. Notice of workers' compensation coverage. Whether the company carries workers' compensation insurance or not, it must notify new hires one way or the other. Notice of coverage or the notice of non-coverage in English or Spanish. Consent for background checks. If not already obtained, the best time to obtain this is prior to hiring someone so that the check can be done before making the hiring decision. But better late than never, since prior notice of background checks and consent are required under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. If the check is done by an outside for-profit service. Optional but recommended. Acknowledgement of receipt of policy handbook. Consent for drug testing. Consent to search policy if the company does such things. Consent for video surveillance if the company conducts such surveillance. Various agreements regarding pay, wage deductions, benefits, schedule, work locations, and so on, with employment at will disclaimers. Documents needed to claim potential benefits associated with hiring applicants from certain targeted groups. This is not on the TWC website and is my recommendation. If you see in your company's future, as your company grows, that you will add video surveillance, drug testing, or any similar policy, I highly recommend that you get these forms signed by your employees upon hire. You may have more difficulty getting an employee to sign off on a document the longer that employee is at your company, and that's based on my personal experiences. Also, I recommend a number of other documents be signed by new employees, more than suggested by the Texas Workforce Commission, to ensure maximum protection for your company. In addition to the paperwork, other steps that the employer needs to take at the time or right after an employee starts work are: enter the employee info into the payroll system. For employee ID purposes, try to use an alphanumeric identifier other than a social security number. Both government agencies and private sector experts advise employers to minimize the use and publication of a social security number for anything other than wage reporting and payroll tax purposes. Make the new hire report within 20 days of hire. It can be done online. Sign the employee up for any insurance or other benefits the company may offer. Issue the employee any ID or access cards needed to access company facilities. Remember that new hire orientation periods will involve compensatable time worked. Issue company equipment, uniforms, and other items. Consider using a property return security deposit agreement to minimize the risk of damage or non-return of such property. As an employer or manager, have you ever heard of an employee property return security deposit agreement? In my next video, I will read to you what the Texas Workforce Commission says about this. Thanks for watching.